Ashtavakra Gita. India, undisputedly the oldest civilization of the world, experienced several highs and lows in its journey till date. However, its strong spiritual base provided tremendous resilience to bounce back and restore its pre-eminence in all spheres. Its spiritual foundations can be traced back to the Vedic period, which gradually evolved to Vedantic thought and is at the heart of the spiritual revolution impacting lives of millions across several continents. Spiritual leaders, scientists, and other intellectuals worldwide have hailed the immense depth of universal knowledge enshrined in Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta, literally translated, means end of Vedas and beginning of a colossal body of philosophical literature in the form of Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. The fundamental thought in all these epics is concept of Advaitavad, non-duality. Majority of people who have some connect with the spiritual space know, read and follow somewhat the profound message delivered by Krishna to Arjuna in the battlefield of Mahabharata. Bhagavad Gita has a context that everyone can relate to. It deals with issues of day-to-day life, and several of its teachings are relevant for everyone. Bhagavad Gita is rightly described as a way of life. Restoring the supremacy of yoga, Karma Yoga, Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, and many other forms are an integral part of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is also built on the unqualified premise of Advaitavad. Chapter 11 of Gita, wherein Krishna presents his Virat Swarup to Arjuna, who till then had continued to wallow in his grief, unwilling to pick up his bow and arrows, is the absolute moment of oneness of God and transformation of Arjuna as a warrior willing to do his duty. Advaitavad, non-duality, irrevocably establishes the concept of oneness, only one, which has no second. Brahman, the Supreme, alone exists, and everything else is an illusion. The entire universe is like an infinite ocean in which thousands of worlds, like the waves, rise, play, collide, and merge with the ocean. There is another scripture which does not formally figure as a part of Vedanta, but on a standalone basis propounds the reality of Advaitavad that has no parallel in the series of several commentaries on the subject. This book is Ashtavakra Gita, also known as Ashtavakra Samhita. The name of the sage draws from the fact that his physical frame was twisted at 8 different places. The anecdotal version of Ashtavakra relates to the chance encounter of Emperor Janak, father of Sita and father-in-law of Sri Ram, with Ashtavakra, a young boy of 12 years of age. The story states that Ashtavakra went to Janak's court in search of his missing father, named Kahor, who had reportedly come there to seek royal patronage. He lost a spiritual debate against the court philosopher, Bandi, and was excommunicated from Janak's court and sent to serve the father of Bandi. Ashtavakra's entry into the court induced uproarious laughter from the courtiers, including by some intellectuals and pundits who claimed in-depth knowledge of Vedas and Upanishads. Once the din of the laughter subsided, Ashtavakra also laughed in somewhat derisive manner. King Janak, who understood the reason of his courtiers mocking the young lad, whose body was twisted at 8 places, asked Ashtavakra the reason of his laughter. He replied that I had heard that you are an enlightened king, but you seem to have packed your court with a bunch of fools who cannot make a distinction between the body and the soul which is pure consciousness. They laugh at the body which is perishable and transient. How can you call them learned? Pandit Sri Bandi, who had defeated Ashtavaktra's father in a spiritual debate, challenged him for a duel. Pandit was no match to the sparkling genius of Ashtavakra. His father was brought back and King Janak requested Ashtavakra to become his guru. Ashtavakra Gita is quintessentially a compilation of a dialogue between Ashtavakra and King Janak. In fact, it is not a dialogue in the classic sense. Both have their own individual space and express their profound thoughts in a manner that seamlessly converge to just one view: Brahman, manifestation of existence, bliss, consciousness. The entire world is described as an illusion and all living entities as his representation. Ashtavakra Gita begins with King Janak asking three questions. These are: how does one gain true knowledge? How does one get liberation? And way to renunciation. Thereupon Ashtavakra begins to expand on these themes, and Janak shares his experience and his response to Ashtavakra's words of profound wisdom showed great perspicacity and understanding, reinforcing the veracity of his statements. 18 chapters, 298 verses seem to say the same language, speak the same language, in what appears as a grand monotony of words and thoughts. Each word, each verse is beautifully, wondrously orchestrated symphony, emphasizing oneness of the universe and unity of every entity, animate or inanimate. The entire universe is one big illusion, and the only thing that exists is self, the supreme consciousness. The beauty of this epic really lies in its simplicity, its directness. Ashtavakra Gita has no context, no story, no debate, and no ambiguity whatsoever. Each word is luminous, transparent, and keeps appearing with steady regularity till it gets firmly embedded in the consciousness of the reader. No wonder many great sages have hailed Ashtavakra Gita as the purest of all scriptures. Chapter 1. Janak speaks. O the revered one, tell me the way to wisdom, liberation, and renunciation. Ashtavakra speaks. My son, if you want absolute freedom, spurn the poison of senses. Drink the nectar of love, empathy, forgiveness, truth, and simplicity. You are not any of the five elements: earth, fire, water, air, or sky. Believe that you are a witness. Yourself, you are then free. You are different from your body. Believe in this truth consciously. Right now, you will be at peace, happy and free. You have no caste. You're not bound by duties. Formless, unattached, beyond the reach of senses, witness of all things, be happy. Right and wrong, joy or sorrow do not affect you. They are the attributes of mind. You are neither the doer nor the enjoyer. O the all-pervading one, you are ever free. You are a witness of all things and ever truly free. If you see yourself as something different, then you are bound. When you think you are the doer, you are bitten by big black snake of ego. The thought that you're not the doer will be like nectar. Drink it and be happy. You are pure consciousness. Burn the forest of ignorance with this belief. Give up sorrow and be happy. The way a rope appears as a snake, you are mistaken for the world. You are pure bliss. Live happily as that blissful consciousness. If you think you are free, you will become free. If you think you are bound, you are bound. A saying that you are what your thoughts are is indeed true. Self appears as a world only as an illusion. Self is a witness, all-pervading, perfect and non-dual. Free and pure consciousness, unattached, free of action, desireless and quiet. Self is non-dual, pure consciousness, immutable. Meditate on it. Give up the illusion of a separate self. Give up the feeling within or without that you are this, that, or the other. My dear son, for a long time you have thought that you are a body. Hence you are bound. Your pure consciousness with this knowledge as your sword, cut through the ignorance and be happy. You are unattached, already free, actionless, self-effulgent and bright. You are bound only by your desire to practice meditation. You flow in everything, and everything is woven around you. Your pure consciousness. Do not give in to petty-minded thoughts. You are not dependent. You are always the same, unchanging, profound, serene and undisturbed. Desire only pure consciousness. You must know that whatever takes form is false. Only the formless is permanent. On realizing this, you will escape the pangs of rebirth. The Supreme Self exists everywhere, inside and outside the body. The same way as mirror exists inside and outside the image it reflects. Air is flowing everywhere, inside and outside the pot, and fills it up. So does the all-pervading Brahman, fills and flows in everything. Chapter 2. Now Janak speaks. I am pure, unblemished, serene beyond nature. I am pure consciousness. All this time I have been bewildered by delusion. I alone illumine this body and the universe. Therefore the entire world is mine, or indeed nothing is. Having abandoned the world and the body, I am now able to experience the infinite with special skills. As wave taking the form of foam or bubble is not different from waters, entire creation streaming out of self is nothing but the self. A piece of cloth is made up of threads. So is the entire world. It is nothing but the self. Just as sugar is the essence of sugarcane juice, I am the sweetness in all that I produce. I permeate within and without. Ignorance of self creates an illusion of the world, not its knowledge. This is similar to the illusion created by a rope appearing as snake. My very nature is light, nothing but light. When the world shines, I alone shine. The universe appears in me through ignorance and maya. Like silver in the mother of pearl, snake in rope, shimmer of water in sunshine. The world arises out of me and dissolves in me. Like pot in clay, wave in water, bangle into gold. I am worthy of adoration, I am wonderful, I am immortal. The entire world may perish, from Brahma the creator to a blade of grass. I live on. I am indeed marvelous. I have taken a body form, but I am still one. I come from nowhere, I go nowhere. I am all pervading. I deserve salutations. My dexterity is incomparable. Without touching any part of the world, I am holding it eternally. I salute myself. I am wonderful. Nothing belongs to me, yet whatever is thought or spoken is fully mine. The knowledge, the knowable, and the knower actually do not exist. Through my unblemished self alone, these three appear to exist. Be aware that the root cause of misery is seeing one in two. Perceive that I am one without two, pure bliss, consciousness. That is the only remedy. I am pure consciousness. Out of ignorance, I projected my body on the self. Now, reflecting on my real self, I am purged from all distractions. I am neither bond nor free. Illusion has ended and lost its support. The universe appears to exist in me, yet it does not exist in me. This body is nothing, this word is nothing. Self alone is pure consciousness. With this knowledge, it is futile to imagine their existence. I am complete awareness. Body is false. Heaven and hell, freedom and bondage, all anxieties are mere imaginations. These do not matter. In the crowd, I see only one. There is no duality. In this forest and wilderness, who do I cling to? I am not the body. Body is not mine either. I am not an ego. I am pure consciousness. My desire to live is my only bondage. I am the infinite ocean. In me, many diverse thoughts spring up like waves, and thousands of words arise. When the storm of thoughts subsides in the limitless ocean of my being, the trader and the ship of the world sinks along with it. Marvelous indeed. In me, the limitless ocean, waves according to their nature arise, play, clash, and eventually settle within me. Chapter 3. Ashtavakra speaks. You know the self, it is one, indestructible. Notwithstanding, you still nurture passion for amassing wealth. Just as seashell appears as silver out of ignorance, you get attracted towards material and sense objects of the world. Knowing that you are complete self, like an ocean in which waves rise and fall, why do you run around like a wretched creature? Even on hearing that self is pure consciousness, supremely beautiful, how can one get attached to sensuous objects and become impure? Wise men know that self resides in all beings. and all beings in the self. Yet they cannot give up a sense of ownership. Strangely enough, one who abides in non-duality and oneness desires liberation and yet gets overwhelmed with lust. Indeed, how strange, knowing lust to be the biggest enemy of awareness. Even with passing of age and feeble, one seeks gratification. He is unattached to the offerings of this world and the next. He longs for liberation. He also knows the difference between eternal and ephemeral. Yet he is afraid of absolute freedom. The wise person always sees the absolute self. He is not delighted when celebrated, nor angry when tormented. A great soul does not distinguish between his own action and that of others. How can then praise or blame perturb him? A person with a poised intellect knows the world is an illusion. He does not show any wonder. How can he be afraid of death? Who does one compare such person with who is free from all desires? He experiences contentment even in a state of utter despair. The wise person knows that the perceived world by its nature is nothing, has no substance. Why would he show preference of one over the other? He who has given up all worldly passions, who is beyond duality, free from any longing or desires, come what may, joy or sorrow, he remains unaffected. Chapter 4. Janak speaks. A wise man of understanding knows the self and plays the sport of life. A deluded one acts as a beast of burden. There is no comparison between the two. The true yogi does not feel elated in that exalted state, which Indra and other gods hanker after, and not getting it, become unhappy. The wise one of pure heart knows that the world is only the self. Who can prevent him from doing as he wishes? Of 4 categories of being, from Brahma to a blade of grass, only the wise one can give up desires or aversions. Rare is the one who knows the self as one without two, master of the universe. He acts accordingly, without any fear from any quarters. Chapter 5. Ashtavakra speaks. Nothing touches you, you are pure. What will you renounce? Give up body-mind complex. Enter into the state of dissolution. The entire universe rises from you like bubbles in the sea. You are one, you are the self. Let yourself dissolve. The universe is visible, but like the snake in the rope, it is not there. It is unreal. Only you are pure. Go into dissolution. For you are unaffected in pain or pleasure, hope and despair, life and death. You are pure. Let yourself dissolve. Chapter 6. Ashtavakra speaks. I am like the infinite space without boundaries. The world is like a pot of clay. This is the truth. There is nothing to renounce, nothing to accept, nothing to dissolve. I am the ocean, all the words are like waves, This is true knowledge. There is nothing to renounce, nothing to accept, nothing to be destroyed. I am the mother of pearl. The world appears illusory as a vein of silver. This is the truth. Nothing to grasp, nothing to release, nothing to dissolve. I am in all beings are in me. This is true knowledge. There is nothing to renounce, nothing to embrace, nothing to dissolve. Chapter 7, Janak speaks. In me lies the boundless ocean, the ship of the world, moves here and there, driven by the wind that blows all around. I remain patient and unmoved. In me, the limitless ocean waves rise and fall spontaneously. I experience neither rise or fall, nor increase or diminution. I am the boundless ocean in which the universe is. Only an imaginary illusion. I am completely tranquil, formless. I abide in this knowledge. I am pure, untainted self. I am not in the world. The world is not in me. I am free of desire and attachment. I am thus at peace. This is pure knowledge. Isn't it marvelous? I am pure consciousness. World is a magic show. In such a situation, there is nothing to accept and nothing to reject. Chapter 8, Ashtavakra speaks. When mind desires something, grieves at something, rejects or accepts, feels happy or angry, it gets into a bondage. Conversely, it is freedom when the mind does not desire or grieve, does not accept or reject, is not happy or angry at anything. When the mind gets attached to sensory perceptions, it is a bondage. It is freedom when there is complete detachment from them and their experience. When there is no I, there is freedom. When there is I, there is bondage. Think of this. Accept nothing, reject nothing. Chapter 9, Ashtavakra speaks. Conflict of performing duties or not performing, getting caught in the pair of opposites, never ends. Having understood this, become indifferent. Give up passion and seek renunciation. It is difficult to find a person whose desire for living, to enjoy life, and hunger to learn and know has been extinguished by observing the ways of men. Nothing is real, nothing ever lasts. The world is worthless, contemptible, afflicted with triple misery and rejectable. Knowing this, man of wisdom acquires serenity. At no time or age, pair of opposites will cease to exist. Abjure them. Maintain equanimity. Be happy with whatever comes your way and stay fulfilled. Sages, seekers, yogis have diverse opinions, say different things. Whoever knows this becomes indifferent and attains tranquility. One who understands the true nature of pure consciousness by staying indifferent, by equanimity and reasoning, is a true master. He is not born again into samsara. Any change happening in the elements is illusory and not real. See them in pure form. Rest in your true nature and be completely free. Desires alone are the basis of the world. It is an illusion. Renounce them. By that you will renounce the world, and live freely anywhere you like. Chapter 10. Ashtavakra speaks. Treat all your desires as enemy. Wealth earned by undesirable means, these damage you. Under the guise of virtue, give them up, hold on to nothing. Friends, lands, wealth, houses, wives, gifts, and other objects of fortune are just dreams or a magician's show. They last a few days, just 5 or 3. Where there is desire, consider that to be the world. With strong dispassion, overcome desires, and be forever happy. Desires alone bind you. Destroying it will lead to liberation. Stay detached from the world and find lasting happiness. You are pure awareness. World is unreal, lifeless. Ignorance also does not exist. What more do you wish to know? Life after life you had kingdoms, sons, wives, bodies, and pleasures. You were attached to them and yet you lost them all. You enjoyed plenty of wealth, nurtured many desires, and performed righteous deeds. In the wilderness of the world, peace eluded you. Life after life you have toiled hard with your body, mind, and speech. At least stop now. Find peace. Chapter 11, Ashtavakra speaks. Change in every entity is inevitable. It is an integral part of the inherent nature. Knowing this, you achieve equanimity, become free from pain, and get eternal peace. God is the creator of all things, none other than Him. Knowing this with certainty, all your desires melt away. You are not attached to anything. Achieve eternal peace. He who knows and believes that fortune and misfortune will come in their own time, based on past actions, is fully contented, desires nothing, grieves nothing, has complete control on his senses. He who knows with certitude that joy and sorrow, birth and death are all effects of past actions, stops chasing ordinary goals of life. He acts but stays fully detached. All kinds of sorrow and misery comes from fear and anxiety and nothing else. Knowing this with certainty, all your desires melt away, you become free, happy, and calm. He who knows and believes that he is not a body, nor does the body belong to him, is pure awareness. He does not remember his actions or inactions. He becomes one, complete, and indivisible. I reside in all things, from Brahma, the Creator, to a blade of grass. One who knows this with certainty becomes free from all thought fluctuations, success or failure. He becomes pure, still, and serene. The entire world, manifold and marvelous, is nothing, is unreal. When you know this, all desires vanish. You are pure awareness. You know there is nothing. You become still. Chapter 12. Janak speaks. Initially I gave up action, then idle words. Lastly, I gave up thoughts. I am now here at peace with myself. I've got rid of the distractions that are caused by shutting out sound and other sense objects. Self not being an object of perception, I'm here at peace with myself. Meditation is needed only when mind suffers distractions caused by one's own superimpositions. Knowing this as a rule, I am here at peace with myself. There is no joy, no sorrow, nothing to accept, nothing to reject. O Master, knowing this, I am here at peace with myself. I am not bound by the 4 stages of life, not by meditation or control of mind. These are mere distractions. Knowing this, I am here at peace with myself. To do something or not to do something are caused by ignorance. Knowing this, I am here at peace with myself. Thinking of the unthinkable is also a kind of thinking. I've given up that thinking. I'm here at peace with myself. One who has accomplished this is indeed blessed. He fulfills his divine nature and becomes fulfilled. Chapter 13. Janak speaks. It is difficult to find contentment even when you know that nothing exists and you possess nothing. I've given up any notion of rejection or acceptance. I'm happy. There is weariness in the body, tongue falters, mind is always stressed. I've renounced them all and I am happy. I fully understand that self does nothing. I do whatever comes my way and I am happy. A yogi attached to the body is bound to the thoughts of action or inaction. I know that I am not the body. I've risen above this duality and I am absolutely happy. Neither good nor evil happens to me. By sitting, sleeping, or walking, whether I sit, sleep, or walk, I stay in true happiness. I lose nothing by sleeping, gain nothing by striving. I've given up the joy of winning or the sorrow of losing. I'm happy. I've observed that pleasures come and go in different situations. I've renounced good and evil and I'm truly happy. Chapter 14. Janak speaks. All recollections of the world have gone. By nature, my mind is empty. I'm awake while I sleep. I think of sense objects only inadvertently. I'm free. All my desires have gone. I have no interest in friends, riches, sense objects that work like thieves. I have nothing to do with scriptures or knowledge of any kind. I have realized the Supreme Self as witness and master. I am indifferent to liberation or bondage. There is no anxiety to get moksha. I have become devoid of all thoughts. I move around free as I please. Only those like me can understand my true state and ways. Chapter 15. Ashtavakra speaks. A person with pure wisdom gets fulfillment by whichever way he is taught. Worldly person seeks all his life but stays bewildered. If you remain detached from the senses, you are free. If you are attached to them, you are bound. This is knowledge. You may do as you please. When this knowledge is understood, person who is eloquent, bright and active becomes silent. He does nothing and remains silent. Those who wish to enjoy the world shun this understanding. You are not the body, nor is the body yours. You are not the doer, you are not the enjoyer. You are pure consciousness. Witness of all things. You are free without expectations. Be happy wherever you go. Desires and aversions appear in the mind. Mind is never yours. You are pure awareness. Free from its turmoil, you are changeless. Go about happily. Realize that the self is in all beings and all beings in the self. Free from I and free from me and mine, stay happy. The world arises in you like waves in the ocean. You are that pure awareness. Free yourself from the fever of the world. Have faith, my child. Have complete faith. Don't suffer any delusions. You are pure knowledge. You are beyond anything. You are self. You are God. The body is a combination of elements of nature. It comes, stays a while, and goes away. The self neither comes nor goes away. Why then grieve over it? Oh, the pure one, if the body lasts till the end of the world, or goes today, you don't win or lose anything. You are pure awareness. You are infinite ocean of consciousness. In you all the worlds rise and fall like the waves. You don't gain or lose anything. Oh my child, you are pure intelligence. You and the world are the same without any difference. Therefore, there is nothing to accept, nothing to reject, anything, anyway. You are the one unchanging, serene, pure and still. Pure consciousness, there is no birth, no activity, not even any ego. You are always the same. You are in whatever you see or perceive. Bangles, armlets, and anklets are not different from gold. Completely give up distinctions such as I am he or I am not. Consider everything as self. Get rid of all desires and be happy. The world arises only out of ignorance. You alone exist. There is nothing other than you. Not even God separate from you. Once you understand that the world is an illusion and nothing more, desires disappear. You find peace. You know there is indeed nothing. In the vast ocean of existence, there is only one self, was and will be. There is no bondage, no liberation. Live a life of fulfillment and move about happily. Don't get caught in web of yes or no. Do not get disturbed. Stay quiet. Abide happily in your own self and nature, which is happiness itself. Give up all thoughts and contemplation. Hold nothing in your mind. You are the self, ever free. You will gain nothing by meditation. Chapter 16. Ashtavakra speaks. My son, you may read and discuss various scriptures in many ways. many times over. But in order to get established in self, you will have to forget them all. You are very wise. Perform all actions. Enjoy the world. Practice meditation, but your mind will seek your true nature, which is beyond everything and where all desires vanish. Striving hard leads to sorrow and unhappiness. Not many become aware of this. Only through this understanding will you attain freedom. The master who stays absolutely idle and has difficulty even in blinking his eyes, he is the one who is truly happy, no one else. This is not done yet. When the mind becomes free from all these dualities, it no longer craves for pleasure, becomes indifferent to righteousness, wealth, lust, or liberation. You want enjoyment? You get attached to senses. You shun them, you are detached. But if you desire nothing, spurn nothing, you are not bound by attachment or detachment. As long as desire exists, discrimination will not come. Persistence of desires will create likes and dislikes, right or wrong. These are the roots and branches of the world. Activity leads to attachment. Renunciation causes aversion. Wise man is free from the pair of opposites. He is like a child established in himself. One who is attached to the world wishes to renounce it, to escape the miseries. One without attachment is free from sorrow as it is, and does not feel miserable living in the world. If you seek liberation but can't get rid of ego, also, if you think that you are the body and it belongs to you, you're not a wise man, nor a yogi. You only suffer. Shiva, Vishnu, the lotus-born, Brahma, the creator, may be your instructors. But unless you forget everything, you will not get established in the self. Chapter 17, Ashtavakra speaks. One who is happy and pure, content within himself, purified of senses, acquires the fruit of knowledge and the fruits of yoga practice. The knower of truth is never unhappy. In this world, he knows that the entire world is filled with himself alone. Sense objects do not please the one who is completely happy within himself. An elephant that loves the leaves of salaki tree has no taste for leaves of a neem tree. It is difficult to find a person who is untouched by the things he has tasted and does not desire the things not yet enjoyed. In the world, some crave pleasure, some seek liberation. Rare indeed is a noble soul who neither wants enjoyment nor liberation. Rare also is to find a man who is open and broad-minded, has no attraction, no aversion to duty or liberation, wealth or pleasure, life or death. He is indifferent to the fact whether the world exists or is dissolved. The truly blessed one accepts whatever comes his way, unasked, he is forever happy. He is fulfilled by his own wisdom. He is fully absorbed and content within himself. He lives happily, hearing, touching, smelling, seeing and eating. His eyes become vacant, he does not do anything with any purpose. His senses are stilled. He nurtures no desires. No aversion, for him the water of the ocean has dried up. He does not sleep. He is not awake either. He does not open his eyes. He does not shut them, he stays in the supreme state of consciousness. The liberated one always stays in self. He is undefiled by desires, free from all vasanas, under all conditions. Whatever he sees, hears, touches, smells, eats or accepts, walking and speaking, he is free from all attachments or aversions. He is truly liberated. The liberated one does not blame or praise. He is not angry. He does not rejoice. He does not give, does not accept. He wants nothing at all. Women of passion or death do not attract him, nor disturb him. He stays completely poised and is indeed liberated. Happiness or sorrow, man or woman, fortune or misfortune, are all the same for him. He remains serene and balanced in all situations. The world does not bind him anymore. There is no compassion, no violence, no humility, no pride. There are no surprises. There is no agitation. The liberated one neither craves nor disdains things of the world. He is fully detached and takes whatever comes his way. The wise one of empty mind does not concern himself with meditation or its absence. The struggle between good or evil, he is happy within himself and alone. In him there is no I, there is no mine. He knows that there is nothing. His desires have all melted away. He does something, yet he does nothing. His mind has ceased to function. It has simply melted away. Dreams, delusions, dullness have all gone away. For what he has become, there is no name. Chapter 18. Ashtavakra speaks. Salutation to the one who personifies bliss, peace and effulgence. Awareness whose knowledge drives away all delusions. Acquisition of material objects does give pleasure and enjoyment, but eternal happiness cannot be achieved without renouncing them. Sorrow caused by performance of several deeds has scorched your heart with the heat of sun. Become still, give up desires, then alone will you find happiness. This world is nothing, it is just an idea. The essential difference between what is and what is not never goes away. Self is already fulfilled, absolute, immutable, without flaws and close at hand. It is effortless. It does not strive and is ever attained. When you realize the self by unveiling of the vision, all delusions vanish. You see clearly, you shine, all your sorrows are dispelled. All that is seen to exist is mere imagination. Self is ever free and is eternal. Knowing this, wise one acts like a child. Upon realizing that you are Brahman and what is or what is not is only imaginary, you become free of desires. There is nothing to know, say, or do. When a yogi realizes that self is everything, he becomes silent. Such thoughts as I am this, I am not that, melt away. Yogi attains serenity. He is without pain or pleasure, distractions or concentration, knowledge or ignorance. A god in heaven or simply a beggar, gain or loss, in the forest or out in the world, there is no difference for a yogi. who does not feel agitated by desires. A yogi free of duality, duty or righteousness, wealth or pleasure, discrimination mean nothing to him. He is above the notion of doing something or not doing anything. Liberated yogi has no duty, nor does he have any attachment. At heart, he has nothing to do. He just lives his life the simplest way. For the noble one who has transcended all boundaries of desires, delusions, universe, renunciation, or even liberation have no meaning. If you see the world, you may want to dissolve it. The wise one has no desire. He does not need to. He sees the world, he sees nothing. When you see Brahman, you meditate on it with a thought, I am Brahman. If you have transcended all thoughts of duality and see no second, who will you meditate upon? When you suffer distractions, you practice concentration. But the noble-minded is undistracted and has nothing to accomplish. What should he do? The wise one lives like an ordinary person, but inside he is very different. He sees no imperfections, no distractions, nor any bondage anywhere. He is fulfilled. He is above the thought of existence or non-existence. He is free from desires. He looks busy and active, but does nothing. Staying active and doing whatever comes his way, he is never troubled. Inactivity or inactivity, he is ever happy. He has no desires. He is free and independent. He is fully liberated. And blown by the effects of his past life, moves like a dry leaf. He is the same in joy and sorrow. He has risen above worldly experiences, completely tranquil. He lives as if he has no body. The wise one delights in the self. He is pure and serene. He has no desire to renounce anything. He misses nothing. He stays in a state of empty mind. He does whatever comes his way unasked. He is different from the ordinary and is unaffected by honor or dishonor. One who knows and believes that everything is done by the body and not by the self, whatever he does nothing. The liberated one acts in a way but does not say why he acts like that. He is no fool. He flourishes in the world and stays blessed. Having withdrawn from the fluctuations of mind, the wise one achieves complete repose. He neither thinks nor sees, nor knows, nor hears. Since the wise one has no distraction, he does not meditate. He does not seek liberation. He is unbound. He sees the world and knows it is an illusion. He lives as Brahman. A man with an ego is busy mentally, does not act physically, yet gets impacted by the results of his action. A man without an ego acts physically but is free mentally. He is free. He is fully liberated. He is neither troubled nor pleased. He is free from action, desire or doubts. He shines. His mind does not engage in meditation or any activity. He remains in a state of meditation and activity without any purpose whatsoever. A fool hearing the real truth is mightily confused. An intelligent one, on hearing the truth, withdraws within and acts like a fool. The fool practices concentration and tries to control the mind. The wise one acts as in deep sleep. He rests and finds nothing to be attained. The fool does not find peace either in action or inaction. The wise one attains peace and tranquility merely by knowing the truth. In this world, men try all kinds of paths and engage in many practices. They do not know the self, the beloved, which is pure, perfect, enlightened, flawless, and beyond the universe. The fool does not find freedom by repeated practices of controlling his mind. The master, just by intuitive understanding, remains liberated and unchanging. The fool wants to attain Brahman but does not. The master does not desire it, for he knows that he is already one. The fool has no support. He is eager to attain freedom and keeps the word spinning. The master cuts at the root of the word that is cause of all sufferings. The fool looks for peace and does not find it. The wise one already knows the truth. He is always at peace. If a man looks at the manifestation of the world, he can't see himself. The wise one is not distracted by this or that. He sees himself, the immutable self. The fool tries to control his thoughts and mind, he never succeeds. The wise man who is happy, this comes naturally and indeed spontaneously. Some believe in existence, some think that there is nothing. One who thinks neither is rare and is free from all distractions. People with weak intellect meditate upon Atman and believe it to be pure and one, without a second. But they stay in a state of delusion and are unable to realize it all their life. A person who desires liberation tends to stumble always and can't function without a support. The one who is already liberated stands on his own without any support. Senses and sense objects are like tigers. The timid ones run for cover and safety to the nearest cave to practice control and concentration. A man without desire is a lion. Seeing him, sense objects take flight. They quietly run away like elephants, and if they are unable to run away, they serve him like slaves. A man who is free from doubts and whose mind is one with the self does not resort to any control or for liberation. Seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, and eating, he lives happily. Having heard the truth, he becomes serene with pure awareness. He becomes indifferent to proper or improper action. He is indifferent to inaction as well. The wise one behaves like a child, good or bad. He does whatever comes his way. Freedom gives happiness. It also takes you to the highest state. Freedom gives repose and peace. Freedom makes one discover the end of the way. Chapter 18. Ashtavakra speaks. When a man realizes that he is neither a doer nor indeed an enjoyer, all the thought waves in his mind are stilled. The conduct of a wise one is spontaneous. He shines. He is unpretentious. The fool shows deliberate calmness, but he is attached and can't find peace. The master is free of his mind. He is liberated and unbound in his freedom. He has absolute enjoyment, or he withdraws and moves to the mountain caves. When a master meets a Vedic scholar, the gods or the holy places, a king or a woman or a beloved, he entertains no desire, no lust. The wise one is unperturbed even when his servants, sons or wives or grandsons abuse him or scoff at him. He is undismayed by ridicule of other members of his family. He experiences no pain in pain, no pleasure in pleasure. Only those like him can understand his exalted state. He has no sense of duty that normally binds people to the world. He does not have any form. He is unchanging, untainted, and all-pervading. The wise remains unperturbed even in the thick of action. The fool, even in idle state, remains agitated by the noise within. The master performs his normal duties with equanimity. He is happy sitting, happy when he sleeps or moves. He is happy speaking and happy eating. He knows his real nature. He goes about doing his work without agitation. He has no distress like ordinary people. He shines smoothly like a vast lake. All his sorrows are extinguished. The fool is busy in action, even when he is not doing anything. The wise one, even in action, gathers the benefits of stillness. The fool often shows aversion to his possessions. The wise one, who has no attachment to the body, there is no attraction, no aversion. The fool is caught between the idea of thinking or trying not to think. The master who lives within himself, though engaged in ideation, is beyond awareness. The master is like a child. He has no motive. In any of his actions, he has no attachments, even the action being performed by him. He is blessed. He is the knower of the self. His mind is not thirsty. He stays the same in all conditions, seeing, hearing, touching, smelling or eating. The wise one is like sky. He does not change. There are no ends and no means. The word does not matter to him, nor its reflection. He is the embodiment of his own space, ever victorious. This is his own nature. Having renounced all desires, he remains ever in a state of bliss. There is no need to say anything more. The master who realizes the truth has no desire for enjoyments or for liberation. Devoid of all passions, he stays the same everywhere, at all times. There is nothing left for him to do. He has given up the duality of the world, which arises in the mind and is manifested only in the names, is pure consciousness. The man with a pure heart knows for certain the world is a product of illusion. Nothing really exists. He is able to see which cannot be seen otherwise, and he is at peace. He does not see the phenomenal world at all. He shines and is naturally effulgent. Rules of life, dispassion, renunciation or self-control do not apply to him. He does not see the duality in the world. There is no sorrow, no joy, no liberation or bondage. He shines in a manner that is infinite. The illusions of the world prevails till the dawn of self-knowledge. The wise one has no I-ness, no mindness. He is free from all passions and he shines. The wise one knows the self to be imperishable and free from grief. He does not care for knowledge or the world. Where is the feeling, I am the body is mine? The moment a person of dull intellect gives up control or concentration, he falls prey to desires and fancies. A fool, even after hearing the truth, does not give up is delusion. He may appear calm and composed outwardly. Through suppression of desires, he is full of craving inside. On realization of truth, all work falls away. Although in the eyes of others, he may seem to work, in reality he has no room or scope of doing anything. The wise one is fearless, never perturbed. He has nothing to do, there is no darkness, there is no light, there is nothing at all. He has no specific attributes. His nature defies description. Where is the need for patience, discrimination, and even for fearlessness? For the Master, there is nothing at all. There is no heaven, there is no hell. There is no such thing as liberation in life. In the eyes of a yogi, nothing exists. The Master does not yearn for gain, he does not grieve over any loss. His serene mind is filled with nectar and supreme bliss. Completely free from desire, he does not praise the peaceful nor blames the wicked. He is the same in joy and sorrow and finds nothing to be achieved. The wise one does not hate the world. He does not seek the self. Free from joy or sorrow, he is neither dead nor alive. The wise one has no attachment with his family. He has no desire for the sense objects of the world. He does not even care for his own body. He leads a glorious life. Whatever happens to him or whatever comes to him, he is always happy. He wanders at will. Wherever he is, when the sun sets in, he lies down and rests. He stays reposed on the foundation of his own being. He does not care whether the body lives or dies. He has completely transcended the cycle of birth and rebirth. The wise one keeps no possessions, has no attachments. He stands on his own. He moves at will. He is free from any duality. All his doubts have gone. He stays blessed. The Master is devoid of ego. Gold, earth, stone are all the same to him. He has cut loose the knots that bind his heart. He has cleansed himself all rajas and tamas. Thoughts and acts, he shines. He is completely indifferent to everything. There is no desire left lingering in him. He is absolutely content. There is no comparison to such a liberated one. Only one who has no desire sees without seeing, speaks without speaking, knows without knowing. He is freed from sense of good and evil. A king or a beggar, whoever, he is free from desire and is unattached. He shines. He is without any guile. He is fulfilled and has found his way. He is simple and has no care for restraint or abandon. He has no interest in finding the truth. He has no desires. Contented with self, he has transcended all his sorrows. Nobody can describe his inner thoughts and experiences. He is not asleep even in a state of sound sleep. He is dreaming but not lying down. Even when he is awake, he is not awake. The wise one is content in all conditions. The man of wisdom has no thoughts. Even while thinking, he has sense organs, but he is devoid of them. He has intellect, but no intelligence. He has personality, but seldom thinks for himself. The wise one is neither happy nor miserable. He is neither attached nor unattached. He is not liberated. He does not seek liberation. Indeed, he is neither this nor that. He is not distracted amid distraction. He is in samadhi, but is not meditating. He is foolish, but is not a fool. Knowing everything, he knows nothing. The liberated one always abides within, under all conditions. Duty or action has no meaning for him. He is free of all desires and never worries over job done or not done. The wise one does not feel annoyed when blamed. He is not delighted when praised. He does not rejoice life, nor fears death. The wise man with a calm mind neither seeks a crowded place nor the solitude of the forest. Everywhere and indeed always he remains the same. Chapter 19. Janak speaks. Using the pincers of truth, I have plucked away the thorns of my diverse opinions from the deep recesses of my heart. For me, who abides in my own splendor, wealth or pleasure, piety or discrimination, duality or non-duality have no meaning. I sit in my own grandeur. There is no past, there is no future, there is no present. Where is the space or even eternity? I sit in my own radiance. Where is a self? Where is a not self? There are no good or evil. What is thinking or non-thinking? There are no dreams. Where is a deep sleep? There is no wakefulness. The fourth state of consciousness is absent. I have no fear. I sit in my own splendor. What is far or near? What is outside or inside, gross or subtle? I abide in my own grandeur. Where is the world or worldly relations? Where is the dissolution of consciousness? Where is samadhi? There is no life nor death. I sit in my splendor. I abide in the self. Talk about three goals of life is useless. Talk about yoga is also purposeless. There is no need for direct knowledge. Chapter 20, the last chapter of Ashtavakra Gita, Janak speaks. I am spotless by nature and fulfilled. Where are the five elements? Where are the body and senses or the mind? There is no void, no despair. All these are nothing to me. Where are the scriptures or knowledge of the self? Where is the mind? Detached from sense objects or happiness or freedom from desire. I have transcended duality. Where is I? Where is this? Where is mine? Where is knowledge or ignorance? Freedom or bondage? What indeed is the form of true self? I am always one undifferentiated. Where are my prarabdha karmas? Where is liberation in life or liberation in death? There is no I in me. Therefore, who is the doer or the enjoyer? Where is cessation of thoughts, arising of thoughts? Where is direct or indirect knowledge? I have no natural attributes. I am non-dual by nature. Where is the world? Who seeks freedom? Who is a yogi? And who is the realized one? Who is bound and who is liberated? I stay in my oneness. Where is creation? And where is destruction? Where is the end and where is the means? What is seeking? Who is the seeker? Where is the end of seeking and what has been accomplished? I am ever pure. Where is the knower? Where is the means to knowledge or the object of knowledge? What do I care for knowledge? There is no anything or nothing for me. I am forever without action, still. There is no distraction, no concentration for me. Where is joy or sorrow? There is no understanding, no delusion. I am in a state of thoughtlessness. There is no happiness, no grief. There is no state of absolute or relativity. I am purity personified. Where is the illusion or the world? Where is attachment or detachment? What is soul or Brahman himself? I have no activity, no inactivity either. I am indivisible, unchanging. I am neither bound nor liberated. I am established in the self. Where are the scriptures and the teachings? What indeed is the goal of life for me? Who are the disciples and who is the master? I am Shiva, the God, free from all limitations. Where is existence or where is non-existence? Where is the one and where is the duality? There is no need for me to say anything more. Nothing emanates